Really the most impactful moment happened, I want to say just after the real estate downturn many years ago. A couple of young boys, they were 17 and 15 years old. Their names were Greg and Sam. And these young boys were, one of the brothers was actually aging out of some homelessness assistance. They were having trouble with a single mother, basically living with another man who was not their father and who forbid those boys from coming to live with her. And so we were introduced. My family and I got involved somewhat in their lives, and we would help them in that interim situation, but also over time, just trying to help provide some stability for them. And I think beyond just the basic needs of housing and food, we also, I got to see how they behaved and carried themselves through what would have become in any young person's life, so traumatic that you probably would not recover from. I got to really see from them what they were made of, and not only were they not fearful of going through that experience as young people, with a whole host of other social issues and teenage stuff that's just generally on them at that point in time, but they were literally not really clear on who could pick them up after school, who could take them to the club, where their next meal was coming from, whose home they might be sleeping at on a given night. These are real issues, and they were completely unafraid of what I would have considered to be massive, stop everything type issues for a young person. And what it made me realize really was that they were, if they could somehow make it through this moment in their life, and they could somehow look past some of the issues that had happened in their families, then the foundation that the Boys and Girls Club was providing to them about them being loved and respected and protected and educated and held accountable for doing their homework and for the basics, basic hygiene and how to eat and those kind of things, that they could have had a chance to become really invincible in their lives and not be affected by really traumatic stuff. It's an interesting question. Why is it important right now during a lockdown, a global pandemic, a health and safety crisis, and of course what is quickly becoming an economic problem on many households and families? Why is it important to support the Boys and Girls Clubs? Look, there are many organizations who fill a need for families. And many of those organizations may or may not survive through this period of time. What we do to build the foundation of families and to keep that foundation in young people as they grow up through the club system is so vital, because those skills pay massive dividends for their families, those individuals, and the community later on. And so I think it's just so important to remember that we do not, as Boys and Girls Club, have a revenue model. The more kids we help, the more it costs. And so this is a tremendous burden on the corporate community, on local governments, to continue to step up and make sure that we are supporting the organization if we want to turn out more children who feel, see, have the love and hope of the community behind them so that they can reach their full potential.